What's up, Swolgers? Steve Coyne here, and today we are going to talk about a very important topic. And this is the traits of successful strongman athletes and also the traits of unsuccessful underperforming athletes. So I've now hosted over 26 competitions and I've seen thousands of athletes compete. And time again, you see a lot of the same things happen in these people who perform really well and finish on the podium. But then you also see a lot of things that all the underperformers do. So I want to kind of make you aware of some of these things so hopefully you can do better at your next competition. Before we get started, please do me a favor and hit the like button down below. Please click subscribe to the channel to get more content on strongman and all things getting swole in the mind, body, and soul. So let's just dive right in. And I want you to understand really out the get-go that I believe that winning and performing well is a personality. So I would like you to try to identify how these things overlap and how they complement each other to make you this person. It's not just, actions that are done half-assed or actions that are done, without the right reasons behind them. This is embodying a lot of traits to make the whole sum of this great successful person. So right out the gate, we have winners are relaxed and friendly. Now, of course, I understand when we're doing a strongman competition, there's going to be nerves, there's going to be jitters. We all feel them. The reality is, if you're not feeling anything, this probably doesn't mean that much to you. So who cares? But these winners are the people who harness these feelings to turn it into positive focus and forward momentum. So I just want you to think, if you were to embody a high heart rate and you're a little jittery, that is not necessarily one emotion. You might feel high heart rate and have jitters if you're on a roller coaster or if you were anxious, right? So it's up to you to mentally frame this situation when you're feeling those things as excitement and not anxiety. So we want to use these by being relaxed and friendly to put that into positive focus and good performance. Now, what we don't want to do is be tense and be standoffish. It's very natural for people when they feel those things to be that guy over in the corner who's maybe doing one of these, or they stand there with arms crossed and trying to compose themselves. But there's a lot going on here. First off, your posture does affect you in so many different ways. So if we're here, this is naturally going to make you closed off and not so friendly to other people. And why I keep saying friendly is this is very important. I think that all athletes should be nice to their fellow competitors for several reasons. First off, if you are friendly to your competition, that's going to put you in a positive state of mind, and you're also going to have just a better experience overall, because when we're warming up, you're going to have people allow you to get your place in line. They're going to help you if you need it. Let's say you forgot a pair of wrist straps and you really want to use them for a log. Somebody's going to easily just say, hey, why don't you use mine for a turn? If you're this guy who's over there, standoffish and tense, you're just sending out bad vibes and people are not going to want to help you. Now, we always have to understand that there's a human element to strongman, right? So this extends to judging and how others perceive of you. In strongman, we always want to be as impartial and objective as we can. But subconsciously, these judges are human. And if they know you're somebody that's out here really trying their best, has a positive attitude, you just are more likely to have things go your way during the day of the show. If you're somebody that is tense and standoffish, rude, or any of those things, subconsciously this judge will look at you a little differently. That is the reality of the situation. So I really encourage you to be cool, talk to your fellow athletes, because it just makes a huge difference. And never forget, the root of the word compete means to conspire together. So while this is an individual sport, as competitors, we are conspiring together to become better, stronger, more successful versions of ourselves. So moving on, winners believe they will do their best And this is starkly different from thinking that you're going to beat everyone or dominate everyone or just think you're going to win in a landslide. So when we have this mindset of believing that you're going to do your best no matter what, we have so many things that can turn into a successful day for us. Nick Canby on one of our Club Strongman calls put it very well. He said, if you come second to last, but you PR every single event, is that really a loss? No, of course not. You are improving. Our ultimate goal, again, is this high peak where we are the best, strongest version of ourselves. So if we believe we're going to do our best, we don't get that podium spot we were fighting for, but we PR on everything, that still is a winning, high-performing, successful day. Now, if you're only focused on that outcome, if you just think you're going to beat or dominate everybody else, everything other than first is going to be a disaster, right? You'll not be able to put your focus on improving a mistake or overcoming a challenge if you just think things have to go your way or that they're going to go your way. When we believe that we're going to do our best no matter what, we're able to roll with the punches. We're able to, like I said, overcome a mistake or challenge. A really great example of this at the highest level is Mitch Hooper at the Arnold this past year. Dropped the frame carry, that uphill timber carry that they do at the Arnold, and he still won that event. And I think a lot of that boils down to just his mindset of believing in himself that no matter what happens, I'm still going to do well. Because what happened? He dropped it, but he picked it right back up quick enough with composure to still win that event. Now, if you think that you just have to dominate or beat everybody else, you're more likely to have a little bit of maybe a meltdown or maybe just a block that's not going to allow you to carry on and finish that event to the best of your ability. So when things go the way that when things don't go the way that you're expecting them to, if you think you have to win, it's just so much more work to overcome in your mind, right? Now, winners also have good, hard experience, right? Versus underperformers may have a lot of experience, but it's not necessarily good experience. So what is good experience? This is things that force you to get outside of your comfort zone. And a lot of times, this means you're going to get your butt kicked pretty good. Me personally, I've learned the most from competitions where I made major mistakes, but I improved on them, and that led me to better performances at each consecutive show that I did. This only happened by forcing myself to go to higher levels, getting exposed, and learning from mistakes. But if you are somebody who only cherry picks shows or does smaller, easier shows for you, not all small shows are easy, but you know what I mean by this, then you're not really having to rise above, right? I think it's important to have a mindset, as we just talked about, of believing you're going to do your best no matter what, even if you zero, because what could happen? I've done competitions in the past where the circus dumbbell weight was way out of my reach, but I came so close to it in training, I did not get it at the competition, that all of that training on the build-up to that led me to be successful with the dumbbell at future events. Had I not set my sights high, known and accepted my weakness, I maybe would have never trained that movement and I would have never had the progress that I got, even if I ultimately zeroed, right? A lot of people in strongman shy away from competitions that they think they're going to, zero a bunch or fail or this or that, but I really encourage you to run head on into those challenges because it's going to force you to adapt and become better and stronger, right? Now, when we have this good heart experience, we also need to embrace this constant learning mindset. This is not just from the events and the mistakes that we make, but also just as an athlete and as a person. There are so many tools out there that we can apply to our athletic endeavors and also just to our life. So it's important for you to always be browsing around. There's a lot on social media. There's a lot of really talented coaches that are putting out information. You may find that one little tip that this person offers over here is going to change the game entirely for you. But if you're somebody who just thinks they have it all figured out, you're never going to get that insight. You're never going to have that light bulb moment if you're always doing the same things you've always done, if you think that this style is working for you, or you just really like to train this way, even if your performance does not reflect that. Your results are your reality. So if you're not getting the results that you want, you have to figure out what needs to change. In my own personal example, I had a long history of a very tight chest, thoracic spine, which led me to terrible performances in my overhead. So what I had to do is consult people that were much smarter than me. I hired a coach who would really help me with this, and I figured out what worked. But even then, I'm still looking for, okay, so what are these guys doing to help with their mobility? What drills does this person do to help them with a circus dumbbell or a press? So we want to find ways to bring in outside information that applies to us. Now, when we keep building this experience, you're going to have the discretion to try and understand and apply what actually will work for you. Now, this is very important because not everything is going to work for everybody. So you can't just look at, what somebody like Hafthor is doing and automatically apply it to your training. Most people are not 6'9" and genetically gifted the way that Hafthor is with his build. So you need to be looking at maybe smaller guys or other people, different coaches, different worlds. And in that note, you need to be thinking about what other interests do you have outside of strongman that you should be pursuing and applying yourself to. This is really important because we want to be able to constantly have an element of novelty in our lives. We want to be applying new lessons from outside sources to enrich our own individual personality. We all have outside hobbies, pursuits, this and that. You should not let them go entirely to the wayside. When we are doing fun and exciting things outside of strongman, we're going to be able to give ourselves a mental break from this strongman world. And then when it's time to show up, even if it's just throughout the week, you do one fun thing you really enjoy on a Saturday, and then you get back to training on Monday, you're gonna have a lot more mental power and mental enthusiasm to apply yourself to the highest level in strongman. Now, this also just deeply enriches your own personal talents and treasures. In my own personal example, I really enjoy comedy. A lot of people may not know this, but I do and have done a lot of improv comedy over now 15 years. What this has helped me with in improv is, in order to be successful and to build a good scene, you have to always accept a situation for what it is at face value. You have to add to it positively and then just keep building. So going back to learning from your mistakes or rolling with the punches, let's apply that to strongman. Let's say we make a mistake in an event. Well, we just accept the reality for what it is, and then we figure out the best path forward and keep pursuing immediately. We don't delay. We put a positive spin on it and still apply to the best of our abilities, regardless of what the situation is. This happens a lot of times at shows when an event changes or maybe there's an equipment failure. A lot of people cannot handle that whatsoever. Total meltdown, and it just leads them to a very poor performance. This is always going to happen in strongman. Most shows do run well, but not all. There's always going to be something that doesn't go exactly the way that you planned and prepared for. But if you have this mindset of accepting the reality for what it is, putting your own positive spin on it, and then moving forward to continue building this positive situation, you cannot lose. You will do your best no matter what. So that's my own personal example, but I know I've talked to other people who are musicians or they just picked up learning guitar at a later age in life. These things have helped them learn how to apply themselves through daily disciplines and habits. Even if that's for guitar, you learn that to apply into strongman and your strength training pursuits. You have to have those daily disciplines and habits to improve anything, but especially strongman. So think about that. You want to really have the best, fullest expression of your unique individuality, because that's going to affect everything you do in your life and raise it all up to the highest degree. You do not want to be this person that strongman is life. The reality is, when people have this strongman is life attitude and they get injured, their whole life frequently goes into shambles. It's really sad. It's not always an all or nothing approach, because a lot of people have had major injuries and then they go into other things such as, coaching or commentating or just volunteering. So you still can be involved, but I really want you to encourage to figure out those ways to maximize your whole life outside of the sport so that you can be better in it, right? Now, one of the other very, very important things, and kind of the last point that I'm going to hit on for this video today, is that these winners have clear goals with a lifestyle conducive to success. Now, this comes up often in the world of fitness. It's very easy. We want to have clear, concise goals. If we say, I want to deadlift 700 pounds, then we can make clear-cut steps measured in numbers that we can accurately track to use towards our goal. If you just say, I want to do better or I want to get stronger, that is vague, and there's so many directions that we want to go. This can be applied to many, many, many different things, but these people that are winning and performing really well are very focused on the specifics of their goal and not just generalities. So when you're thinking about what you want to do as a strength athlete or any other pursuit whatsoever, being specific is very important, because then we can measure and track whether that's actually getting us to our goal, if we're plateauing, or if it's sending us in the opposite direction. So make sure that you're very, very clear with that, and then you have a lifestyle that's conducive to success. If you want to be a great strength athlete, you have to prioritize your nutrition and your recovery. If you're only getting 4 hours of sleep every night, or your sleep quality is just absolutely terrible, that's not giving you what you need to continue showing up in your training and grow and get better. So you have to figure out how your lifestyle allows you to have all of these things. As I said at the start of the video, this is a personality and a way of life. So what I really would like you to think about is, how can you build this lifestyle, find self-belief to become a better, greater strength athlete and just a better, greater person. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, please hit like and subscribe to the channel. For all things strongman, check out clubstrongman.com. Have a championship day.